Is the Instant Pot worth it? The answer is yes. Especially if you eat rice religiously like me 3-4 times a day. This tool not only completely replaces a rice cooker, but is also able to be used for so many different applications that it's just an absolute no-brainer for anyone who eats rice, especially brown rice. In this video, I'm breaking down the many uses like this for an Instant Pot and why it's such a high value tool, especially for people meal prepping and wanting to cook efficiently multiple things at the same time. So why did I buy an Instant Pot? Honestly, I think it was just on sale at Costco one day and my mom bought it and she didn't really use it a lot, and so I ended up learning how to use it. And then I found out that it makes brown rice a lot better than your traditional rice cooker, and from then on out, I was sold. Then I ended up using it for other things such as like steaming or pressure cooking and all the other things that Instant Pot is traditionally used for. But originally it was just something that made brown rice really well. And that is a huge hack for those of us who are trying to eat a little bit healthier and wanting to find alternatives to your typical carbs. So what exactly does the Instant Pot do? Well, it's a pressure cooker. What that means is it's basically just a sealed system, and the whole selling point is that it's supposed to cook things faster than a regular pot because it traps the steam inside instead of it going everywhere like a typical stovetop. As the steam builds up inside of the pot, it creates a pressure which raises the boiling point of water, forces liquid into foods, which keeps the moisture within the food items that you're cooking, especially if you're like steaming a chicken, for example, which is my personal favorite way to make chicken. And on average, let's say it cooks food maybe 3 times faster than normal. Think about it like this. It's like cooking food. Think about it like this. It basically makes tough meats a little bit more tender, and it makes rice a little bit quicker, which is great for people who are trying to save a little bit of time and also make a ton of food all at once, because this Instant Pot has quite a bit of capacity. For example, in my last video, I talked about the Dutch oven and how I've used it for different braises. I've done the same exact thing, but in this pressure cooker, and one, it has no risk of burning because again, the moisture stays within, and so none of the liquid evaporates and ends up burning the bottom of the pot. And 2, it cooks it in less time. A chuck roast, 3 pounds of chuck roast that would normally take 3.5 hours in the Dutch oven only takes about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes in the pressure cooker, and it comes out even more tender. So some practical uses that have really sold the Instant Pot's value to me personally: I cook a lot of rice. I cook maybe 6 to 10 cups of rice a week, and using this is way more consistent than a stovetop, and it cooks brown rice a lot better than most rice cookers that I've used in my lifetime. And so it's more consistent, and also it's completely hands-free. Once you put something in the Instant Pot and you set it to the setting it needs to get to, you set it, you forget it, you go on to cooking something more active like a stir fry on the stovetop or getting something else prepped for the air fryer, for example. So it really frees up your efficiency within the kitchen to do something else with your limited time. For steaming, this Instant Pot is actually a great hack, because when you steam something on the stovetop, especially if you don't have like a really deep pot, what ends up happening is you have to be careful not to overboil things. With an Instant Pot, you never have to worry about overboiling. You can completely just shut this lid, put it on the steam setting, and just leave until it's done. So is the Instant Pot worth it for you? Well, one, how often do you cook at home? Cook at home a lot, and you use you cook a lot of the things that the Instant Pot has functions for, then great, do that. For example, when I mentioned that if you cook rice a lot, you should have this because it instantly replaces it, that's a good reason why you should get one immediately. Another reason why you might not want it is if you prefer the more traditional methods that on the margin may be slightly better for some of the recipes that you're making. If that's more valuable to you than to having one multi-tool that can kind of do it all, save you money, space, and time, then that's your choice to make. Another thing that I think is underestimated by a lot of people who are more familiar with tools that they use is that there is learning curves to picking up any new tool. If you already have your habits set with the tools that you already have and it's working okay for you, like sometimes that's better than to try to push yourself to learn something new that you might end up just not bothering to because you're busy, you have a million other things to think about, and you don't really want to try to learn this whole new gadget, and that's completely fine. Don't waste the money. So to recap, what are the main benefits? One, a time saver when you're trying to juggle all things life and also meal prepping at the same time. Having a minimalistic buy that takes up less space and does more things versus having multiple appliances in your kitchen that you have to store and figure out. And finally, it's completely dishwasher safe. It doesn't take up as much space in your dishwasher as something with handles might, because the inside of this pot comes out like so, and you throw this in the dishwasher, you forget about it. Don't have to hand clean or nothing. So overall, the main points that really matter when it comes to the final verdict of whether one should or shouldn't buy this product is 1. Do you have proof that you're going to consistently use it? Do you already have something established that you like to eat that you think would work better in this Instant Pot and that you will use often? If so, it's an easy decision to make because it'll bring its value back to you very quickly. 2, are you a big meal prepper and you need to cook a lot of different things at once and you need your hands to be free on one thing so you can focus on something else? If so, that's another huge benefit to having the Instant Pot. You set your rice in here, you set something to steam in here, put the lid on, forget about it, go cook something else that takes more time and effort. For example, I'll have something cooking in here while I'm cooking something on the stovetop, prepping something to throw in the oven, prepping something to throw in the air fryer, etc. This is one of those tools that is very low maintenance, and so you can really get a lot of leverage on your time when you're in the kitchen by using this alongside other traditional cooking methods. So let me know in the comments if you've ever bought an Instant Pot and you have any opinions about it, as well as anything that is still holding you back from making this purchase. And by the way, check out my most recent video for more content regarding realistic, healthy lifestyle tips.